Jesus. Its subsidiaries, wherever they may be, O Lord, bless us. Bless them, O Father. We pray that no evil shall come across us, Master. We invoke the blessings of God this morning upon its leadership, in its board of management, dear Lord, in its board of directors, dear Lord. We pray that you walk with us. We thank you, Father. Bless this nation and the leadership of Kenya. Bless us from the president, O Lord, down to the common man, that there may be peace in every corner of Kenya. Bless us, O Lord, that we may speak as a people in one nation, one life, and one spirit. That in the midst of every problem, our Father, you will give us solution. Walk with us, guide us, dear Master. Walk with us as we start this meeting. May the Holy Spirit be with us. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray and we believe. Thank you very much.
I call upon the company secretary, our company secretary, to read the notice convening this meeting. Company secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Notice of the annual general meeting. Notice is hereby given that the 8th annual general meeting of the Cooperative Bank of Kenya Limited will be held at the Bomas of Kenya, Nairobi on 27th May 2016 at 11 a.m. for the transaction of the following business. Ordinary business 1, to read the notice convening the meeting and determine if a quorum is present. 2, to receive and consider, and if approved, adopt the audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2015, together with the directors and auditors' report thereon. 3, to approve and declare a first and final dividend of Kenya shillings 80 cents per share in respect of the year ended 31st December 2015, to be paid to the shareholders on the register at the close of business on 30th May 2016. 4, election of directors. 1, Mr. McLeod Malonza, Mr. Richard Kimanthi, and Mr. Benedict Simeu being directors appointed under Article 104A of the company's articles, under which the majority and strategic shareholder of the company, COP Holdings Cooperative Society Limited, nominates to the board of the company 7 directors, are retiring by rotation and being eligible offer themselves for re-election in accordance with Article 100 of the company's Articles of Association. COP Holdings Cooperative Society Limited has already nominated them for re-election. 2, Mr. Stanley Muchiri as a director nominated by the COP Holdings Cooperative Society Limited. The majority and strategic shareholder of the company has his 3-year term of service as a director of the society expiring at the conclusion of the annual general meeting of COP Holdings in April 2018. Having attained the age of 70 years, a vote for extension of his service as director of the company in accordance with guidelines 2.5.1 of the Capital Markets Authority Code of Corporate Governance Practice for Issuers of Securities to the Public 2015 is sought. 3, in accordance with the provisions of Section 769 of the Companies Act 2015, the following directors, being members of the Board Audit Committee, be elected to continue to serve as directors of the said committee. 1, Mrs. Lo Simani. 2, Mr. Julius Ryungu. 3, Mr. Lawrence Karisa. 4, Mr. Mwambia Wanyambura. 5, to authorize the board to fix the director's remuneration. 6, to reappoint Ernst & Young, auditors of the company, having expressed their willingness to continue in office, and authorize the directors to fix their remuneration. 7, transact any other business which may be properly transacted at the annual general meeting, dated at Nairobi this 3rd day of May 2016, by the order of the board, signed by Rosemary Manjara Githaiga, Mrs. Company Secretary. Note, every member entitled to attend and vote at this meeting is entitled to appoint a proxy to attend and vote on his behalf, and the proxy need not be a member of the company. A form of the proxy can be downloaded from the company's website, www.copbank.co.ke, and should be delivered or sent to the share registrar, first floor CIC Plaza, 2 Upper Hill, or any cooperative bank branch, PO Box 48231, Code 100, Nairobi, so as to be received not later than 25th May 2016, that is 48 hours before the meeting. The annual report and financial statements of the company and this notice are available at our website, www.copbank.co.ke, and an abridged version of the financial statements has been published in the daily newspapers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Company Secretary. I call upon the Company Secretary once again to confirm whether we have the quorum and the proxies received.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I confirm we have received 1,449 registered shareholders, and we did receive 213 valid proxy forms. And therefore, I confirm, in conformity with Section 58 of the Articles of Association, we have sufficient quorum to transact the business of this meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. A quorum being present, I declare the meeting to be properly convened and duly constituted, and we shall now proceed with the meeting. Directors of Cooperative Bank, ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, on behalf of the Board of Directors of Cooperative Bank Group and on my own behalf, I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 8th Annual General Meeting. I am absolutely delighted to advise that the bank sustained its strong performance record and posted a remarkable 40% growth in the profit before tax of 18.38 billion for the year ended 31st December 2015, as compared to 10.92 billion for the year ended 31st December 2014. This is the highest growth rate in the industry in the year 2015. The profit after tax of the group stood at 11.71 billion compared to 8.1 billion for the year ended 31st December 2014. You will all be pleased to note that the Cooperative Bank of South Sudan, established at a unique joint venture model with the government of South Sudan on behalf of the cooperative movement, contributed to the bank's performance by posting a remarkable profit before tax of 850 million. This, despite the political upheavals in South Sudan and the prevailing macroeconomic environment. This affirms our decision to expand into the regional market by way of joint venture, which provides for inclusive growth. Arising out of this performance and in line with our capital retention strategy for funding continued growth and expansion through retained earnings, the Board of Directors will be recommending to this annual general meeting an enhanced dividend payment of 80 cents per share. I sincerely highly recommend the Board of Directors and the management of the bank under the leadership of Dr. Gideon Muriuki for this excellent performance. I also thank you most sincerely for your continued support and patronage of the bank. As is our usual practice, considering that this is the only occasion that we get to meet all of our shareholders, I will call upon the Group Managing Director and CEO to take this opportunity to give the highlights on the bank's activities and then invite our auditors to present the financial reports for the year ended 2015. Managing Director, please.
God is good all the time. Bwana asifiwe sana. Hamjambo asubuhi. Amen. Take it up from where our group chairman left off. Indeed, we thank God most sincerely for enabling us to register strong 40% growth in the profit before tax of 15.3 billion. We also deeply appreciate you, our shareholders, for your continued support and patronage of the bank. We serve at you have given us the opportunity to serve you as the shareholders of this great institution. Indeed, 2015 was a great year in the performance of the bank. As has already been recapped, we saw our total assets grow to 342 billion. Total deposits grow to 268 billion. Shareholders' funds grew incredibly to 50.2 billion. I'll take a minute on that. As the chairman has said, we have progressively reviewed our dividend payment over the years, but the board has been careful not to increase dividend payments to a level of then we come back to you as shareholders and ask for additional capital in the following year. And so we have balanced profit retention with the dividend payment, so that once we pay you the dividends, the retained profits of every year is the money that we use in terms of the expansion of the bank. Interest income grew by 25% to 36.8 billion. Fees and commissions grew to 9.5 billion in the year. Forex income had a very good growth of 124% to 3.2 billion. But our operating expenses, gaining out of the transformation process that we've had with McKinsey, grew only by 6% in the year. Chairman, we have continued to drive a universal banking model. That is a one-stop shop providing a diverse product offering, such that we continue to have a broad offering to cooperatives, the retail sector, corporate and institutional banking, advisory services through COOP consultants and insurance agency, fund management, and the Corp Trust investment services, stockbroking and the Kingdom Securities. We have now the regional business in South Sudan, and also our strategic partnership with CIC Insurance, where we own about 29%, the CIC Insurance Group. We have continued to invest in innovative customer delivery platforms. It's good to know that now we have over 144 branches, over 8,700 Kopko Jirani banking agents. We have over 570 ATMs. We have now the leading issuer of debit cards. We have the e-channels. We have our Cop Cash platform that has picked up extremely well. Already we have over 2.7 million customers that are already using our mobile banking platform. And over 800,000 members using our Circle-Link card. That's one for the cooperative movement, for the circles. Mr. Chairman, I want to take a minute to highlight a couple of things that we have continued to do as far as the cooperative movement. The cooperative movement is a strategic owner of this bank. And much as in the context of we are there to maximize value for you, all of us here in this room as shareholders, the cooperative movement gives us a name. That's why we are called Cooperative Bank, because this is a sector that started this bank. And it's always critical that even as we create value for our shareholders, we do in a very special way also make sure that we continue to be a relevant bank in the context of the vision and mission of why we were set up as a bank to provide affordable financial services to the cooperative movement. And so we continue to have a very segmented drive within the cooperative sector, in that we now have a SACCO banking department that is handling the huge SACCOs. We have an agri-cooperatives department. Now, in the 2015, we better defined the transport, housing, investment, and also the small cooperatives. We now have that department, just called by the same name, Transport, Housing, and Investment and Small Corps Department, where we have been able now to handle the much smaller cooperatives, over 5,500 cooperatives. It's under the same division, cooperatives banking division, that then we have the COP Consultants and Insurance Services Limited. As this bank was making money over the years, I think the board of directors and our chairman, we challenged ourselves in terms of how do we give back particularly to the community, and most how do we give back to the cooperative sector that started this bank. And in the wisdom of the board, that's how we started COP Consultancy Services, where we have employed over 20 consultants, and on a full-time basis, they are out there in the cooperative movement, and in the SACCOs and the small cooperatives out there doing a lot of capacity building work. We have continued with significant credit support in terms of working capital, SACCO personal loans, mortgages, insurance premium financing. We have the SACCO Link card. We invested in a switch, a debit card, and under the SACCO Link card, members of a SACCO now are able to access ATMs. Nowadays, SACCOs don't have to buy ATM machines. A SACCO does not need to buy an ATM machine for its own use. All it needs to do is sign up with CoopBank, and we're able to give them the SACCO debit card. This card is co-blooded between the bank and the individual SACCO, and their members are able to access any visa-blooded ATM locally and internationally. Agency banking, it's good to know that over 350 cooperatives are bank agents for this product. We have bankers' checks products that we have SACCO members issuing to their members on behalf of the bank. We have the SACCO M-Corp Cash. We have the SACCO Personal Check. We've had in 2015 a very critical support to agri-cooperatives. And today we have a loan book of over 5.3 billion. And we have had, I want to mention that this includes Maziwa loan, Kilimo Biashara donor programs, such that the AFD and IFAD have worked with us in the last 1 year. Under the Transport, Housing, and Investment Department, there's been a lot of focus, Mr. Chairman, in 2015 on youth SACCOs. We have created over 150 youth SACCOs, and we have over 750 registered Matatu SACCOs. You can imagine the impact of that countrywide. Last year, Mr. Chairman, was a good year for us. Mr. Chairman, because we had opportunity under your leadership at the board to review the next 5 year strategic corporate plan. And so now, as a bank, we have the 5 years, 2015 to 2015 strategic corporate plan. And I'll just give you some of the key pillars that the board agreed that underpin this document. Number one, we want to increase shareholder value and be the dominant bank in Kenya and the region. That's a very key number one pillar. Number two, we want to be the leading financial provider of financial services to the cooperative movement in Kenya and the region through provision of value-added services and maintain over 95% total assets and liability in the movement. We appreciate that there may be small corners where we may not be, but we are determined that at least 95% of the assets and liabilities in the cooperative movement should be with the bank. Number three, to enhance our overall customer experience by maintaining a high level of customer satisfaction and broad feasibility, seamless and timely customer service in all our delivery channels and communications to all channels. Number four, to optimize the bank's huge investment in delivery channels, particularly leveraging on the huge investment in self-service channels. Let me explain that. Over the last couple of years, one of the things that I think we have really done well is increasing the account numbers. 4 years back, we came up with a very unique initiative that we called the MD Liability Campaign, And in the bank, we say that account opening, like I shared last year, is not only for frontline staff in the branch. And we said every member of staff in CoBank, and including the directors, should be part of a campaign to open accounts in the bank. And we give ourselves, the senior colleagues, every month you bring 10 accounts, and the others 5 accounts. And it's incredible what this has done for us within the last 5-6 years. Within the last 5-6 years, we've been able to grow the total account numbers in the bank from around 1 million accounts to over currently 5.9 million account holders within the bank. And a lot of the things we have said is transaction income and the revenues that have come out of the very many things that we have done with those 5.9 million accounts. But then we also realize that those 5.9 million accounts, if not handled well, can cause queues in terms of the service we are offering in the branches. And when we engaged McKinsey in 2014, one of the key issues they challenged us on was, you have this good number of customers, 5.9 million account holders, but you also have a very huge investment in ATMs, you have a very huge investment in internet banking, you have a very huge investment in mobile banking, you have a very huge investment in COP Kwajirani agents. Why can't we work on a transformation of having more of those customers not transact directly at the cashier in the branches, but be able to leverage on the alternative channels to have the customers going there? Hope I'm not losing anybody. But all I want to say is today as we speak, only 25% of our customer transactions are at the branch. And so if you go to Copper House branch today, which is our head office branch, Copper House branch has 120,000 customers. Previously, about more than 18 months back, if you went to Cop House, you'd have found a queue, you'd have found people paying KRA, people doing many things. But today, if you go to Cop House branch and the value organization that we've done with McKinsey, you'll find that half of Cop House branch is actually a sitting area. We were able to create sitting area, sitting space. When you go to Cop House today, you go, you get a queue number, you take a good seat, you read your newspaper, you read your book, and in 5 minutes, your queue number comes up on the screen and you're served. Why? Because we have gone through that reorganization of pushing most of our customer transactions to other channels. In that we have trained our customers that you don't have to come to the teller at the branch to be served. You can even you can do that on your mobile phone, you can do that on the ATM, you can do that on internet banking, and you can do that even at the COP Kwajirani agent. But I need to say this, the primary offering of any bank remains the service at the teller. It is your prerogative, it is a prerogative of any customer to choose the service they require. No customer is told you have to go to the agent, no customer is told you have to go to use your mobile phone. It's an added convenience that you're given. But if you still feel, like in the Kenyan way, I know at times we want to come to the branch, we want to see the teller so that you have time maybe to catch up with the teller at a personal level, you still have that option as a customer. That's your choice. We have also implemented a shared service center where we have centralized a couple of things. Now we have, under Sam Biresha, the Chief Operating Officer, we have put a lot of things in the back office that we have already done to entrench a more robust risk management framework. One of the things that we did last year is we recruited a Chief Risk Officer, Edgar Mondawiro, to enhance the area of risk management within the bank. To continue, I'm going through the key pillars of the 5-year strategic corporate plan to improve the overall cost efficiency within the group. Like you have noted, we have continued to, even as the business has been growing, our cost-income ratio has continued to improve. We want to continue to be the employer of choice by attracting and retaining most competent personnel. We have implemented an effective staff performance and consequence management platform. We are a performance-based bank. Even like year 2015, when we did well, staff received bonus based on their appraisal and based on their performance. And even in a good year like last year, even when we did well, those staff who did not meet their targets and who did not do well they were not rated well by the immediate supervisors, they did not get a bonus and a salary increase in a bad year. To continue to drive a successful regional expansion strategy, Mr. Chairman, like you explained, when we were looking at regional expansion, the board took time to discuss this issue. And we challenged ourselves on, were we going to go to the region as a successful Kenyan bank, Or might we want to have a local image in the economies we are going to go to? And the wisdom of the board, we said, as a cooperative bank, we had supported many economies in the region to set up cooperatives. And we said, why can't we go to the regional economies using the cooperative model and carry those economies with us? You are aware that Cooperative Bank of South Sudan is a strategic joint venture with us. Core Bank, you here own 51% of Cooperative Bank of South Sudan, and the government of South Sudan owns 49%. That model offers inclusive growth, and like the chairman said in his opening remarks, we have done well. I think the model has been good because in South Sudan, we are seen as a local institution. They don't see us as a foreign bank. They see us as a local institution. We have a local chairman. We have a local board, although that includes some of us, me, the chairman, the vice chairman, the corporate secretary are part of that board. But in the local sense, they actually see Cooperative Bank of South Sudan as the institution. And that way, Mr. Chairman, they have supported that bank, and we are proud that even in a difficult year last year, they were able to contribute 850 million to the performance of the group. And so in the next, thank you. In the next 5 years, Mr. Chairman, we are looking at Ethiopia, we are looking at Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania, possibly in that order, in terms of the market segments and the potential that we see in those regions. With the successful piloting of the joint venture model in South Sudan, we would want to go by the same model, even in the other countries. Another key pillar of the 5-year strategic corporate plan is to make sure that the group operates with utmost level of professionalism, compliance to all the set standards, applicable laws and regulations set by regulators. We are a bank that has been committed to the utmost professionalism. We have a very strong internal audit. We have a very strong compliance function within the group. We have very strong credit management, risk management. We have compliance is very critical for us. Number 15, the other pillar is to ensure that the group operates as a responsible corporate citizen, again, by investing in communities, engaging in sustainable programs, particularly on education, agriculture, environment, and financial deepening in the cooperative sector. Mr. Chairman, allow me a few minutes just to highlight to us shareholders a bit of work, again, like I've said, that we have done with McKinsey. In 2014, your board brought McKinsey on board. And I think looking back, there has been, we've gone through a very bold transformation journey that we've been calling the Swallowing Eagle transformation journey. Very bold. In fact, the board even created a divisional director headed by William Dumia as a director transformation to learn on this on a full-time basis. And the key pillars that we've been driving on, the first thing we did in 2014, in December 2014, is the McKinsey advised us on a new structure that created a more customer-centric model, a structure that looked more in terms of maximizing on the customers that we had. Like I said earlier, Mr. Chairman, we were challenged that we had 5.9 million account holders. But the very good growth in account numbers, we were challenged that most of those customers had 1 or 2 products with the bank. Because when we went to sell to them, we were selling them one product, the one that the person who was going to sell knew. And we were challenged by our consultants on coming up with a model where you have an account manager, and that account manager goes to sell to account and sells a basket of products, not one product. And so the key pillars then of the work that we have now been doing with McKinsey since 2014. In 2014, we looked at the structure. It's out of that we were able to release a couple of our colleagues because we were able to do with a leaner structure. And we released a couple of our colleagues in December 2014. And in 2015, the key pillars has been the number one area that we've been working on is on branch transformation and channel migration. As we speak, we have covered over 80 of our branches now, and we still have another 60 branches to go. This has been the most transformative thing that we have gone through. If you told me 2 years back that I could go to Coop House branch and get out of that branch in 5-10 minutes with the queues that were starting to develop in the branches, I would have said no. But like I said earlier, it is incredible. And go to any of our transformed branches and you see that you go get a ticket number, you sit, you have a seat, and in 5-10 minutes you're out of that branch. That has been incredible. All I need to say is that a lot of work went to that because we needed to address services that were based in the branches that needed to be put in a centralized environment under the chief operating officer. We needed to look at services at the branch that needed to be digitized, that were being done manually, and that has worked in a very big way. We needed to look at transactions that we could migrate, that used to be handled at the branch level, but could be done in an ATM, could be done on a mobile phone, could be done internet banking, could be done at the agent. The next area that we have really focused on under this swallowing eagle is that sales force effectiveness, and this falls now particularly for Redi Arono, Director of Corporate and Institutional Banking, Maurice Matumo, Director Retail, and Fizen Marangu under the Cooperatives Division. Is a question of saying you have these customers and mining more business out of those customers. Now, again, there's a lot of work going there. And basically, it's looking at every relationship in the bank, coming up with an account plan, and saying, for this account, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and there's still 1, 2, 3 that I could do, and coming up with a very clear plan of how you get more business out of that customer. The other area was the digitization and automation. Like I said, we're able to identify very many services within the branch that could be done in a centralized area. We remodeled our ICT department into a plan, build and learn model. We recruited a chief information officer to support this area, and we gave him a lot of support in terms of the functional structure and the people that we have brought. We have built we have really strengthened capacity in that area. The other area has been the Mr. Chairman, of the credit process. We realized that there's so many things that we could do in terms of re-engineering the credit approval process within the bank, the area under Anthony Burrow, and we have had very quick turnaround on that area now. And in terms of follow through, in terms of any accounts in arrears, you are called faster. There's a lot of follow through. The other area has been on staff productivity. Mr. Chairman, more than before now, we are on what we are calling key performance indicators. At the beginning of every year, a staff is signing performance targets tied to the specific things you need to deliver on that year. And as I said earlier, your appraisal, your bonus, your salary increase, your promotion is strictly based on your performance, based on the appraisal that the appraisal of your boss. Cooperative sector, Mr. Chairman, again, we have done a lot of capacity building. Over 790 cooperatives went through training and capacity building. And we had 129 specific capacity building mandates countrywide. There's a lot of work that we did. From every place, I mean, right across the country. There's a lot of work we did. We did a lot of work in Meru Dairy Union, for instance, has now increased their production in terms of the milk. We did a lot of restructuring for Kitu Tisha Sacco, Bingwa Sacco, Yetu Sacco. There's a lot of work we did countrywide for 129 cooperatives all over. And as I said earlier, then transformation has become an entrenched function within the bank where we have a functional division learning with it. Cost efficiency and management, Patrick Nyaga and his team in finance. I think there's been extreme focus on cost management. In terms of the procurement processes in the bank, we have re-engineered them. And even this year, whereas we closed 2015 with a cost-income ratio of 58%, we have even reduced our operating costs further, as at March this year, when we released our numbers, you saw our cost-income ratio was 51%. Mr. Chairman, we have continued to leverage on our strong balance sheet to get more developmental funds from our donors. And this year, we got $105 million. That's over $10 billion from IFC, International Finance Corporation, for lending in dollars. And cumulatively now, Mr. Chairman, we have over $447 million. That's over 44 billion loans that we have received from developmental partners. Why are those good? They are good because, as a local bank, one area that unless we get dollars from developmental partners, we will not be able to be competitive in terms of lending in dollars. Customers in the export sector who receive income in dollars, they go to commercial banks and borrow in dollars. And so if you are a bank, and particularly like us now, a local bank that doesn't have foreign currency deposits, then you'll not be competitive. And so we have leveraged on our size, leveraged on who we are, to then go to those developmental partners and get those dollars. We have been very key on socio-economic empowerment. Our critical focus has remained, like I explained earlier, Mr. Chairman, the COP consultancy and the work we have done there. But you're also aware about our work with the Co-Bank Foundation, where we are now educating over 4,200 needy kids from all over the country in terms of school fees. I need to highlight here that the Co-Bank, the 4,200 kids are fully funded by the bank. Co-Bank has, and our structure, Co-Bank has fully funded all those kids for their education. Mr. Chairman, we have continued to get a lot of awards for the good work being done. But one critical award I want to highlight in 2015 is that we were given the Financial Times Global Award for Financial Inclusion. Financial inclusion is what? Financial inclusion is an institution that ensures that it grows and grows with its members and its shareholders and in the community it operates in. Mr. Chairman, in closing, the remarkable 40% growth in PBT would not have been possible without the support of you, our shareholders, and the exemplary leadership that has been given by you, Chairman, the Vice Chairman, and the entire board. And for that, we really thank you so much for that leadership that you have provided. Mr. Chairman, I want to, much as we are looking at the 2015 performance, I think it's good to highlight to the board. 2 weeks back, we released our first quarter results for this year, first quarter results. And Mr. Chairman, I know the shareholders noted that we had a profit before tax of almost 5 billion for 3 months of this year, 4.93 billion. And we hope if we are able to maintain that momentum, Mr. Chairman, all things equal, we hope that next time when I stand here, Mr. Chairman, at a time like this, we'll be talking about a profit of over 20 billion for year 2016. Mr. Chairman, I thank you for this opportunity, and with your kind permission, I now want to invite our auditors, the senior partner, Mr. Joseph Chebro, together with our finance team, Mr. Chairman, to present our audited accounts for year ended 31st December 2015. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Miruki. Chairman, members, I now want to present our report for 2015, which is in the green book that you have. And let me request the shareholders to look at page 46. This is where we have the summary of the financial report. Page 46, members, and also page 47. Let me start with page 47 on highlights, because your chairman already referred to the good year. This is where we have the income statement, the summary one, consolidated. And as you can see, members, from there, it was a big year, a great year, where the group, Cooperative Bank Group, achieved 15 billion profit before tax compared to 10 billion in 2014. After tax, the bank and the group contributes also substantially to taxation. We have 3.6 billion there, 2.9 billion in 2014. We closed the year with a profit after tax of 11.7 billion compared to 8 billion in 2014. So again, members, it was a good year, and that is a summary of how the group performed, and includes everything, even South Sudan. On the next page, which is page 46, this is where we have the balance sheet, and already for the highlights to refresh, you can see a balance sheet at the end of 2015 of 342 billion compared to 285 billion in 2014. Again, the growth in the balance sheet has been great, with the loans given going to 208 million from 179 billion. So those are the highlights. A bigger balance sheet compared to also let's have the technology adjusted, no problem. Yeah, I think it's better now. Thank you for that patience. So we have that balance sheet of 342 billion to close 2015. I'll now quickly take you through our opinion, which is on page 44. And members here, at the top left, we identify the financial report, which runs from 46 to 131. And that is just to guide you. Those many pages contain the detail apart from the two statements I've taken you through. Here, we also state that the directors, they're in front of you, led by the chairman and the executive, have prepared this financial report. And in the middle there, our responsibility has been to carry out procedures to confirm the figures. And we conclude that at the end of our work, we're able to gather enough evidence to be able to give this opinion. And members now, our opinion on the same page to the right there, we state that in our opinion, the consolidated and the bank's financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the Cooperative Bank of Kenya and subsidiaries, and the consolidated and the bank's financial performance and its consolidated and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the requirements of the Kenya's Companies Act. Members, we also want to report that on other matters, we have obtained all the information and explanations that we required for our audit. In our opinion also, we want to confirm that proper books of account were kept by the group and the bank. And finally, that the groups and the bank's statements agree with the books. My name is Joseph Chebro from Ernst & Young, and we signed our report on in Nairobi on that 1st March 2016. So members, thank you, and Chairman.
Thank you very much, Bwana Auditor. Having heard from the CEO, Dr. Muriuki, and the auditor presenting the accounts, are there any questions? I see no questions. Where? Happy? Aya. Yes, you take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Emmanuel Masaba. I only have a few comments. In this book, I have gone through, you have not identified yourself. Branches where we can find you is not there. Question number 2, you have legal pending cases amounting into billions of shillings. And I note that the dividend you have paid, part of the sum came from the reserves. What of this case? If the court does not favor you, where will you be? Question number 3, I have noted that most of the directors from Southern Sudan, they work for the government. of Southern Sudan, do they find time to work for the bank? Question number 4, as I was registering, I saw thousands and thousands of these copies. Where will they be taken? Because we never read them. They never come to us on time. My last question is this. Kopu jirani. Jirani ni mtu mwema ambaye haitakikani akuibie. But I noted that when I deposit my money, 100 shillings kwa kopu jirani, shilingi 20 inakatwa, inafika 80. Nikienda kwa ATM kutoa, ninakatwa 50. Sasa nikideposit 100, nikatwe shilingi 70, nimebaki na nini? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question? Any other? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Irungo Kimani from Thika. The first comment, I have to congratulate you and the board, the whole board, for making the growth. You have ever been seeing that tremendous growth before. The other comment is about beyond zero. Hapo umeguza mahali mzuri sana. Tunaona vile huo mama anafanya Kenya mzima. Na mzidi kumwelekeza, kumpatia pesa ndio ape kila county mobile clinic. Hiyo ingine ni kuhusu the third comment is about you are the third bank in asset base. Na najua tu uta overtake hata hiyo iko namba 1. Mta overtake. So muendelee hivyo hivyo, mfanye kazi mzuri tufurahie. Sasa bahali tena niko na mnaweza tufanyia mzuri sisi kama shareholders. I see a share premium and a retained earnings, all it add up to either 42 billion. Na 2 years ago mlitupatia bonus na mlituahidi baada ya miaka 2 mtakuwa mnatupea bonus. Why not now? The other thing is about the expansion throughout the region. Ndiko na taswishi na mambo ya Ethiopia na Tanzania, lakini hiyo ingine iko sawa. We have good friendly relationship. So hapo mtueleze, you just emphasize on that. But ingine ndio we need you to invest more in agency banking so that we reduce the cost. Nimeona kuna page ambayo nimeona msha reduce the cost and I thought it is through this agency banking. You have already reduced the cost through management. The final one, ningetaka mtueleze, you the managing director, do you have a robust security to bring sanity in the banking industry? Kwa hii benki yangu hatujawahi sikia ati pesa zimepotea. Lakini do you have a robust security? Juu hatuwezi tukasikia ati tena walikuwa hii benki wameiba, hii benki tena wameiba, na it is inside job. So I need more clarification. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other? Yes? This side, just somewhere at the corner here. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I congratulate the board for the good work as per the financial statement. My question is a simple one. Most of banks are...
Your name, please. Your name, please.
My names are Jecton Alayo. Most of banks are collapsing due to what they call insider lending. My question was, what is the status of the insider lending in a cooperative bank, and what measures are there to make sure that the directors pay their loans? Thank you.
Any other? Have I? Okay, I see. Wait. Okay. Huyu unajua mko mbali kabisa. Apatiwe mic. Give you the microphone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Timothy Matolo. I was looking at the document, and I do find in page 22, our liability is increasing year by year. What may be the cause? Second question is loan and borrowing. Do we have security on challenges like disability or death on who has borrowed or something loan to secure that? Lastly, I identify the decrease in employees from 4,450 to 3,948. Is there a retrenchment? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Think that is enough? Wapi? Okay. Bwana huu Sami. Aya.
Group Chairman, S. Mchuri EBS, Group MD and CEO, Dr. G. Muriuki, Group Vice Chairman, J.M. Ryungu. Group Chairman, today I think there's this lady here, but I have not seen the south of the lady there. I saw the south of a man being called company secretary. But in the books we have got Rosemary. What really happened? Because you have not said about her. Where are the whereabouts of her? Because we need to hear her sauti yake. Now, Group Chairman, let me first of all commend you, commend our Group MD, commend the board members, commend our senior directors of Cooperative Bank, and also commend the staff of Cooperative Bank for the job they have done in the year under review has been satisfactory to me, Group Chairman. And also, I want to thank my fellow distinguished shareholders who are here today and who are with us. There are not many, but the ones who are here are enough for our transactions. Starting Group Chairman, if you look at page number 37, 45, and 136, this is where now our appreciation, people have really clamored for you, but not from this side mostly. This is where we can now appreciate what you have done about the award of 2015, because as the bank moves, as the bank grows, who is behind it? It is the directors, our management, and staff of Cooperative Bank. My dear shareholders, let us clap for them. A very good clap, and we clap for ourselves for that good job they have done. Thank you, Group Chairman. Now, Group Chairman, if you look at page number 106, page number 106, under investment subsidiaries. Now, my question here is, in South Sudan, do you have all these investment subsidiaries? And in South Sudan, how many branches has our cooperative bank in South Sudan opened, or where it is present? Then, Group Chairman, about Kingdom Security, you own 60%. You are owning 60%. Who owns 40%? This is Kingdom Security. Now, when we come to CIC, which is it the biggest insurance in Southern Sudan, or there are other insurances in Southern Sudan? Because CIC is present in Southern Sudan. Is it a big bank, a big insurance, or there are others which are over it? I think with those few, let me say thank you very much. Asante sana shareholders kwa hii kazi watu wamefanya na waendelee kufanya hivyo, next year tupate dividend nyingine. Asante sana.
Hiyo imetosha. Yes, somebody, yes. Uko nyuma kidogo. Haya, na mwingine huko juu, ngoja kidogo tumalize na huyu.
Asante Bwana Chairman. First and foremost, I'm a shareholder. My name is Justice Koskei. Swali yangu, it goes to the auditors. Page number 46. 2015, other liabilities. 2014, it was 2.6 million. 2015, it went double to 4.3 billion. So I want to ask the auditors, what has really happened for that increase of 200 million, from 2.6 to 4.3 billion? Second question, I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the board. But the question is this, there's a big challenge outside this business. Go outside and see, might take an example of the M-Pesa. The M-Pesa is a big challenge to most of the banks. So ladies and gentlemen, the board, please kindly, if it's possible, can you roll out more agents? Roll out more agents so that we can access the banking outside there. Because if you go to some of the towns, you can only access maybe one agent. You can roam the whole town and you cannot see the facility. So please kindly roll out more agents so that we can make more money. Thank you, Bwana Chairman.
Thank you very much. There is another gentleman at the top there. Can you come down a little? Oh, there's a mic there. Okay, fine. The one lifting the hand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Wanjiko Njogona, a shareholder, but I've been having problems with dividends. I have been asked to pay twice something that was a mistake. And I don't believe it was a mistake because the shares that I had were mine and I was being paid the dividends. My mother had shares and she never got her dividends. When I went through the channel of claiming that, I was paid back those monies, and in 2014, I was made to pay a check that I was told had been credited to me. 2015, the same mistake was repeated. So I wonder why these clerks who are doing that work are not able to follow up the dividends properly, because I don't think I was double paid, and the letter I get is not very pleasing. It's not good at all. Accusing somebody of being double paid twice, I don't think that is right. And when I tried following it up, whoever I met blocked me. I could not go to the right person to answer my questions. So I don't know if the same thing will be repeated again this year. Thank you.
Okay. Is that enough now? Yes, the consensus is yes. So let me ask the MD to react to those questions and the statements. And thank you very much for appreciating the work done by the board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me say thank you for feedback. I think feedback is very nice. When you're able to give us highlights on what we are doing, and we really appreciate. I think across the room, you had kind words of encouraging us, telling us to do more, so that we're able to even to do better when we come here, Mr. Chairman, next year. Mr. Chairman, the first one was a question by Mr. Masaba on the branches. I know when the branches were fewer, it was easy to put them on this book. Now, increasingly, remember the CMA came up with regulations where they even asked us not to do very many books, and we are even now allowed to do the abridged format that we now do in the newspapers, because previously we would actually publish, if you have 100,000 shareholders, you'd actually publish 100,000 booklets. Some you send them by mail, some would never arrive. When the shareholders come on the day of the meeting, they ask for new booklets. It was a nightmare. And the CMA amended the law and allowed us to be doing this in the newspaper and not to publish so many books. So, Mr. Masaba, I think the thing is, we are now in the digital technology. So, Masaba is more often than not when you take a customer to court and you tell a customer, you lend a customer money and maybe a customer is in default and you go to court and you want to sell the asset, what do? They will go to court and say, no, I don't want the bank to charge me, you don't want to do this, and we have a right to do that. And so one of the things, and that's why we have a legal department, is we always have issues of debt recovery. We always have issues of pursuing customers. Those issues are there. And so we have court cases. But I think the auditor, we have given the auditors the update on a number of those cases. The largest case, for instance, there is a case of where, for instance, staff who left the bank many years back will say maybe they feel they ought to have been paid more. RBA, the Retirement Benefits Authority, have already looked at the matter. They have said, to our opinion as RBA, you are paid as, you ought to have been paid. You have no claim against the bank. But if they still want to appeal, they have a right to appeal. What I want to assure you as shareholders that yes, we have legal cases, and we always have legal cases as a bank because there will be those customers that will, for instance, contest when we go to recover our loans. But I want to assure you from where we sit that we have no case out there on those liabilities that we feel is of concern to the bank. The South Sudan, those government officials are there as directors. They are not employees. They only come for board meetings. If they have a board meeting once in 2 months, surely they have time. They have 1 hour or 2 hours. Just like even in Kenya, we have the PS Treasury. We have our commissioner as a director on our board. They are not employees. They are directors. As a director, you go for a board meeting once, 2 months, or 3 months. Many copies, yes. Like I explained, in fact, we used to have many, many more copies of audited accounts. But now the law allowed us even to do less. So even the copies, the hundreds you saw out there, Mr. Masaba, are even less. But those we use because we send copies to all the people who do business with us. We send copies to our correspondent banks. So we now just print sufficient copies that are good for us. And you had issue about the COP Kwajirani charges. And I think one comment I've had across the board here on COP Kwajirani is the need to have more of them. I agree fully. We have about 9,000 of them, and I confirm to you, we are still looking at how to do more. Mr. Masaba can also guarantee you something. The owner of the COP Kwajirani, he's there to serve you. Amelipa stima, amelipa mfanyikazi. I think he requires something small also to learn his job. Otherwise, he has nothing small, he will not learn that job for us. Bwana Kimani, thank you for your words of encouragement about the good growth. We thank you for the kind words. They keep us going. You had very kind words on the work beyond zero. Her Excellency, the First Lady is doing a commendable job. We have so far, since inception, the bank has been part of that initiative. For the last 3 years in a row, we have, as a bank, we have contributed over 3 mobile clinics towards that initiative, and we are proud and we are happy for that initiative to be, and we are proud to be part of that great initiative by Her Excellency. You said we are the third bank, yes, and you told us to keep up. Mr. Kimani, thank you, and we'll continue to keep up. Retained earnings, good. I think we have done 2 bonus issues in the past. I think we did one for 5 1 year. I think then 2014 we did one for 6. I think that's a good recommendation to the board. I'm sure the thing to know is that retained earnings belong to who? Belong to you, the shareholders. So when we pay you dividends, when we pay you 80 cents per share, like Mr. Kimani has explained, what remains in terms of retained earnings and reserves is money that belongs to you as shareholders. And from time to time, it's the money, as Mr. Kimani has said, then you get a dividend or you get a bonus issue, and I think the board can look at that into the future. Why Ethiopia? Let me give you a comparison of 2 markets. If you compare today Uganda and Ethiopia, if you go to Uganda today, Uganda is a very open market. It has almost all major banks in Kenya and in Uganda at the moment. Uganda is just like Kenya. And so if you go to Uganda today to do banking business, before you make a major impact like we did in South Sudan, it will take time. It's just like you have seen the experience of the new West African banks that have come to the Kenyan market. They're doing well, but before they penetrate big, they have realized they are dominant players in this market like Cooperative Bank and others, and they're taking time to penetrate. What is special about Ethiopia? What is special about Ethiopia, Mr. Kimani, is that Ethiopia has been a virgin market. It has been closed up. It has a very big population of over 80 million people, yet it has been closed up and there has been no foreign banks allowed to go there. It means, just like we saw in South Sudan, when South Sudan was opened up and we went there, the board chose South Sudan because South Sudan, again, was a virgin market, and clearly our joint venture model worked well, and that's why we were able to see the kind of profit of 850 million that we did in 2015. Our thinking is along similar lines. That if we go if we prioritize Uganda today, we could take a long, long time before we are able to come here and tell you that we have made 850 million from Uganda. I saw a local bank that you know that I will not name here have operations in Uganda and Tanzania, and between Tanzania and Uganda, they only got a contribution of 90 million to their profits in 2015. Core Bank is saying we got 850 million from South Sudan alone. And so for us, the board and the chairman, we've been challenging ourselves. We don't want to talk only about regional expansion, but we want to talk more in terms of what value that regional expansion brings to us. So by going to South Sudan and making 850 million out of South Sudan alone, that is like going to several other countries. And so we want to go to Ethiopia. Why? Ethiopia is a virgin market. We believe there's a very big market for us. It's a different terrain for us. I think it's better there. Tanzania, we can go to Tanzania. We all know about Tanzania. Tanzania also is fairly open. There are all the issues of Tanzania. It's opening up, and you see how it is. And we also believe that, we'll still go to Tanzania, but in our view, we believe in terms of return, we have highest return in a nation like Ethiopia. Question on continuing agency banking. Thank you. I commented on that earlier, Mr. Kimani. We will have more of that. Security. We have a lot of security. Investment in security for a bank, the commodity we deal with is money. We deal in money. And so security is a critical issue. We have a security department in the bank that has people. We have external people. We have armed security in the bank. Security is a major issue for us. In fact, let me say this. Security can never be enough in the bank. Why? Because every day we are dealing with money. We are actually dealing with money. We have cash in transit. We have what? All this. And so security issue in a banking environment is a key issue. And all I can assure you is that we are investing on this on a continuous basis. And we thank God that we haven't had a major incident recently, like you said, and we can only thank God. That has not happened. Jackton, thank you. You congratulate us. Thank you very much. And you asked a very good question about insider trading, Jackton here. Let me explain something and I'll take a minute. What is insider trading? First, what is it? So not insider trading, insider lending. Insider lending is defined by Central Bank Act. What constitutes insider loans? Insider loans are loans given to staff, number one. Any bank has a scheme for loans for staff. So you have loans for staff to buy a car, staff to buy a house, a staff to buy anything else. All staff loans are insider loans. Number two, loans to directors is an insider loan. There are guidelines given by Central Bank of Kenya that say if you are a director in a bank and you want to borrow from that bank, what is the criteria? The criteria is very, very particular. Number one, Central Bank of Kenya says if you are a director, like my chairman or myself, every loan borrowed by a director must be approved by a full board meeting. The board, whatever amount, even if it's $1 million shillings, the full board has to sit to approve that facility, number one. Number two, that facility has to be fully secured. There has to be security covering that facility. That is number two. Number three, that facility has to be reported in writing to Central Bank of Kenya within 7 days, Jackton. So once the board meets and they have approved a facility of 1 million for Gideon Muriuki, after the board is satisfied that Gideon Muriuki has capacity to pay that facility of 1 million, then we are required to write to Central Bank of Kenya and report that we have given, the board has approved this facility to Gideon Muriuki. After that, then, we are required by Central Bank of Kenya, every month, I actually send a return, every end of month, and I sign them myself. I send a return to Central Bank of Kenya at the end of every month on all directors' facilities in the bank and how whether they are performing or not performing. The third category is where I can be now a director in a bank, and maybe you have a company somewhere where you have an interest. If I'm Gideon Muriuki, I'm MD of Co Bank, and maybe I'm a director in a company, and that company comes to borrow from Co Bank, Central Bank requires that that facility should be declared. It should also be approved in a similar way by the full board of directors and reported to Central Bank of Kenya. Jackton, I want to confirm to you, sitting where I'm sitting, that all facilities given to staff, all facilities given to the staff are servicing their facilities. And the facilities that have been borrowed by directors, it's true directors have borrowed because they buy a motor vehicle, they buy a piece of land, they borrow as per the procedure. The facilities have been given in a nice way, and I can confirm to you, Jackton, from where I sit, that those facilities are being properly serviced. And so, I want to confirm to you that we have no issue as a bank. I know that issue has been out there where some banks have misused those facilities. And I think we were leading a scenario where I think one bank had 10 billion, I think, huge facilities. We don't have those kind of issues in Cooperative Bank. And the little facility that we have for directors are promptly paying those facilities. Timothy, you had a good question on page 22. You talked about liabilities increase. In terms of accounting in banking, liabilities include deposits from customers. Please note that. Timothy, liabilities for us includes deposits. The deposits, the 260 billion of deposits we have from customers are liabilities to us because we owe that money to our customers. So anytime deposits are growing year on year, then our liabilities will grow. And our assets includes the loans we have given to our customers. Liabilities, deposits that we have received from our customers. The loans that we have given out to our customers are assets, including the assets. I want to confirm to you, Timothy, that we have adequate insurance policies. As a bank, dealing with money, we have invested a lot in insurance policies. We have a lot of cover. Reduction in employees, yes. Timothy, what you said is true. We had a staff retrenchment in 2014. That's true, like I said earlier during my opening remarks. We were able to reduce our staff numbers by 160 in 2014, and we have largely held on the staff numbers. Mr. Chami, thank you for your guide. I will tell Mrs. Githaiga you missed her this morning. Mrs. Githaiga is still the company secretary of this bank, but she had a small fever this morning, and that's why Mr. Kibugi is here. Mr. Kibugi is our senior legal manager. He's the deputy to Mrs. Githaiga. Mrs. Githaiga had a bit of fever, so she was not able to speak this morning, but she's still the company secretary of the Cooperative Bank Group, and I'll tell her that you missed her this morning. Thank you for the commendation. Mr. Chami, Mr. Chami is a very active shareholder. You know, I don't know how many, but he is in very many companies. You know, he has invested across very many companies and the Nairobi Stock Exchange. He's a very active shareholder, and I commend you for that, Mr. Chami. And thank you also for commending even the shareholders and all of us. You know, that keeps us going, and even asked we all be clapped for. Investment in subsidiaries, Mr. Chami, is a good question. What subsidiaries have we invested in? Number one, we have invested in Corp Consultancy Services, the one that does advisory services. That is 100% owned by the bank. We have invested in Corp Trust Investment Services that does fund management. That's 100% owned by the bank. When we invested in CIC Insurance Group, that's not a subsidiary, by the way. CIC is not a subsidiary because it's an associate, because we have invested about 29% in CIC Insurance Group, because it's a listed company, but CoBank owns we have invested in the holding company, which is called Cooperative Insurance Society, and so we own roughly 29%. We have also invested in South Sudan, which is a subsidiary, because we own more than 50%. We have 51% of Cooperative Bank of South Sudan. When we were looking for a stockbroking license, Mr. Chami, that was a couple of 4 or 5 years back, there were no new licenses that were being issued by Capital Markets Authority. And anybody who wanted a license, you needed to go and buy shares in an existing company. And so what we did, if you recall, just to remind you, is that CoBank bought 60% of Bob Matthews. So Bob Matthews was already a stockbroker company in the stock market, and like all other players, we went and then bought 60% of Bob Matthews. The other 40% is still held by the other shareholders that are led by Boaz Awiti. Mr. Boaz Awiti and the company own the 40%, we own 60%. And as I said, CIC Insurance, we own about 29%. So that's not a subsidiary because an associate, a company qualifies to be a subsidiary if you own more than 51%. In that case, we own only that percentage. Justice Koske, I will leave the auditor to you. I'll ask the auditor to respond to the issue about the other liabilities, the increase on the liabilities. You want the auditor to highlight that for you. M-Pesa, roll out more agencies. I agree entirely, my brother. I think I have said earlier, we want to have more agencies. Wanjiko Jogona, from where I sit as the CEO and on behalf of my team, I offer my sincere apologies. I want to say I'm sorry. Please, at the end of this forum, come here in front, meet me here, and I'll take up your issue and see what we can do, and my sincere apologies for that. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I want to ask the auditor to possibly comment on the question about 46 about other liabilities.
I think you can hear me. On other liabilities, the items which the board normally classifies there include, you can actually refer to the balance sheet, the group, on page, the consolidated one is on page. On page where we have 4.2 billion at the end of 2015. This on page, members, is on page 46. And as you can see there, this is a question, why have other liabilities increased? It's in the middle of the page there. We have 4.2 billion compared to about 2.6. The main component here is as the deposits increased, the interest payments on deposits increased in 2015, particularly in the last quarter, and the interest we accrue for the depositors is included in this figure of 4 billion. So as the bank expands, collecting more deposits, you find that the reward for the depositors also increases, and that is the reason for the big increase of other liabilities from 2.6 to 4.2. It's a main component. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Auditor. Thank you, Mr. Mriuki, Dr. Mriuki. I now propose that we adopt the audited accounts, auditors and directors report. Can I have a seconder? Where your name and... Yes.
I second the motion. Yeah, group chairman, it's important that I support you, and secondly, I second on this motion.
Okay. Can I? Although you have clapped, can I see by show of hands? Thank you very much. And then we move to the next agenda, and that is agenda on the dividend. The directors, taking into consideration the performance of the bank, we have proposed a payment of a final and of the first and final dividend of 80 cents per share to be paid to the shareholders in the register of members on the bank as at the close of business on 30th May 2016. The dividend, if you approve, will be paid on or about 30th of June 2016. The register will remain closed for 1 day, that is 29th, that is tomorrow, 29th May 2016, for preparation of the dividend warrant. I propose the passing of the resolution that the bank declares a dividend of 80 cents per share. Now I have a seconder. Give them.
Jina langu naitwa Grace Gambe na secondary tupatie hiyo pesa na 8%.
And I see by show of hands. Thank you very much. Agenda number 9, agenda number, that's elections. I call upon the Group Managing Director and CEO to brief the meeting on the rotation and elections of directors, guidelines of 2, 3, and 1 of the Capital Market Authority, Code of Corporate Governance Practices for Issuers of Securities to the Public 2015, and the provisions of Section 769 of the Capital Market Authority, Capital Market Act. Mr. MD.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, under Article 100 of the Companies Articles of Association, 1/3 of the directors are eligible to retire by rotation. Mr. Chairman, we are aware that under the, having been a bank started by the cooperative movement, when we were listing this bank, it was a very critical issue to make sure that we safeguard the interests of the cooperative sector. And the cooperative sector had agreed that they would warehouse their entire shareholding under one cooperative society. And so Corp Holding Cooperative Society Limited, as you are aware, Mr. Chairman, is the 65% shareholder in this bank. And even as we are meeting here for this AGM, Corp Holding as a society had an AGM, I think last month, 25th of April. And so under the rules and the articles of the bank, Corp Holding then have provision to provide 7 directors. And so Corp Holding will sit, they will go around the country, and in their own way then you will elect elect directors for Corp Holding, and out of those directors, they will send them those directors, 7 to the board of the bank. And I'm only then saying, Mr. Chairman, this morning, that out of those 7 that have been sent by Corp Holding, 3 of them are due for rotation. These are Mr. Macrod Malonza, Mr. Richard Kimanthi, and Mr. Benedict Simiu. And being eligible, they have offered themselves for re-election in accordance with Article 100 of the Companies Articles Association. Mr. Chairman, I want to confirm again that Corp Holding Cooperative Society that nominates them here have already nominated them for re-election. Mr. Chairman, with that, Mr. Chairman, I propose, Mr. Chairman, that we approve their rotation. I look for a seconder.
Simon Mokuno, a shareholder, I second.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mokuno. The second one is our chairman, Mr. Stanley Muchiri, again as a director, also coming from Corp Holding Cooperative Society. Has his 3-year terms of service as director of the society, now as a director of Corp Holding Cooperative Society, expiring at the conclusion of the annual general meeting of Corp Holdings in April 2018. Having attained the age of 70 years, a vote of extension of his service as a director of the company in accordance with guideline 2.51 of the Capital Markets Authority Code of Corporate Governance, Practices for Issuers of Securities for the Public is sought. Let me explain that. Just like I have said, if you become, Mr. Chairman, his 3-year term as a director from Corp Holding will end in 2018. In the course of serving his 3 years, he has attained 70 years. Under CMA now, under CMA guidelines, if you are 70 and above, a specific resolution to serve is required from every general meeting to support you to do that. Mr. Chairman, I pass that motion and I look for a seconder.
Yeah.
Yes?
A shareholder, Mary Mudami, I second the chairman to continue.
Thank you, madam. Mr. Chairman, the third issue I want to present is the issue of audit committee. This is a new requirement of the CMA. The CMA wants AGM, the annual general meeting. We have never done this before. This is the first time that companies are doing it. CMA requires the annual general meetings, one, to note that there are audit committees. Why are audit committees critical? Audit committees are critical in any institution. One, because they are meant to have oversight role in the operations of the bank. And they are meant to, as an audit committee, to have a closer review of all the activities of management and look at all the things that are being done, reporting to the full board. And so it's a new requirement of the CMA Act that the AGM will actually pass a motion, one, to note there is an AGM and to approve the people on that, to note that it's there. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'm only then saying, further in accordance with the provisions of Section 769 of the Companies Act 2015, our directors, Mrs. Los Simani, Mr. Julius Riongo, the Vice Chairman of the bank, Mr. Lawrence Karisa, and Mr. Wanyambura Mwambia, being members of the Board of Audit Committee, be elected to continue to serve as members of the said committee. Are we together? The new requirements of the Companies Act and the CMA requires the annual general meeting of the shareholders to actually note and approve the subcommittee of the board, that is the audit committee. Mr. Chairman, I propose and I seek a shareholder to second that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Peter Ishero-Ngome, and I second.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. And the next item on our agenda is to authorize the board to fix the auditor's remuneration. And in line with the practice, the board requires the authority for it to review and fix the remuneration of directors for the year 2016. I propose that the board be authorized to fix the remuneration of directors. May I have a second? This side or that side?
My name is Stanley Kehio. I second.
Can I see by show of hands? Okay, thank you very much. The next is appointment of auditors of the company. Ernst & Young, who were appointed in the year 2015, have indicated their willingness to continue in office, and the board of directors support the request. I propose the passing of the passing of a resolution appointing Ernst & Young as our auditors and authorize the board to fix their remuneration. May I have a seconder for that?
I'm Simon Muchoki. I second.
Thank you very much. Can I see by show of hands? The auditors are appointed. Item number 12, any other business? As we said in the morning, there have been no other business for which due notice has been received. I now declare the meeting officially closed, and I'll request our director, Benedict Simiu, to close the meeting with a prayer, and let us all be upstanding.
Let us bow down for a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come in thy presence this afternoon. We want to thank you for having prepared this day to be the way it has been. Father, Lord, I want to thank you because we are here to celebrate the success we have seen in the bank for 2015. We want to bless your name and to worship thee. The Lord, you have guided our chairman. He has taken us through the deliberations, and we have seen your hand. We want to pray that as we continue even as we prepare this year and move on, we are looking up upon you for greater prosperity of the bank and for success in the coming years. We want to bless you for the chairman. We thank you for the vice chairman, the MD, the group MD, the directors, the management staff, and our shareholders who are here with us. We want to bless your name that this afternoon, as we close our meeting, Father, I want to pray for Johnny Mercies as your people travel back to their respective homes. Father, bless them. That next year, Father, as we meet here again, we'll celebrate the success we'll have seen this year. We bless you for everything. We thank you for our country. We thank you for each and every program that we have in the bank. Father, we bless you because you've done it for us. For in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Vice Chairman, good meeting. Thank you. Thank you. That was a good meeting.
Mavuno yake mwenyewe. Jamani, mtu akifa kweli wachungaji, nasema mtu akifa tuelezane ukweli, tuelezane ukweli.